Wes, your team had made progress defensively its prior 4 games. Tonight it seemed like it regressed. What did you see out there, and were you satisfied with the effort?
I thought that first quarter, we weren't, I didn't think we approached it the right way in terms of, little coverage confusion, some communication, some transition. Obviously, we missed a lot of, looking back, I think pretty good looks, particularly from 3. Landry, Corey, JP, you're pretty good shooters. A lot of those turned into runouts. And so that affects, of course, your transition defense, your overall defense. At times, I think we did some good things, and they forced them to make tough shots over contest. We could live with some of that. But that first quarter, the pace at which they played, was unique for them. They got up and down.
What have you made of the offensive start to the season that JP has had?
Not a ton. I think it's going to take some time to get a rhythm. And I've said this before, it's a new space for him. And he's, 1 if not 2 on the scouting report. So he's seeing a little bit more attention he's probably normally used to. That takes an adjustment.
Wes, are you generally happy with his shot selection?
Ours?
With Jordan Poole's shot?
In general, yeah. I think he's going to stay aggressive. He's going to take some shots. I think volume guys are going to take some heat checks. That's natural. But I'd like to continue to see him play downhill. And he's not getting the benefit of the whistle. Going to have some nights like that. But he's done a great job throughout his career of drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line. So that balance of attacking, getting downhill, and once he gets it going, we know we've seen it. He's capable of filling it up. So some of it's just a rhythm.
Overall, I know the season is not about wins and losses, but growth. Where do you see growth in a night like this?
For certain stretches there was some growth. I thought we did some good things. Look at quarters 2, 3, and 4 where we were +2. So the first quarter is kind of what did us in. That's not a silver lining. Those are the numbers. So the fact that we were able to compete, kind of claw our way back into it, and the differential was done. But I thought we did some good things, in quarters 2, 3, and 4.
How does something change from what seems to be improving to a drop back to where it was early in the season?
We just got to figure it. We got to keep playing. We got to play hard. The coaches are harping that we're making improvements, but it's always tough to see that when you're not seeing the results at the end. So just got to keep pushing. Just keep pushing.
What do you think about Bilal and the time he spent guarding Luka?
He did a good job. I expect him to do a good job every night because he's capable. So.
I think it's probably fair to say that Jordan isn't playing to the standards he wants. What do you say to him as someone who has dealt with being elevated on a scouting report?
That's probably just the toughest thing for him right now is just trying to deal with that up and being in the scout report. It's a challenge. It's a challenge, and I think I went through that a lot last year with trying to work through okay, now everybody sees me as the top option, and I think that's a little bit what he's going through. Obviously being in Golden State, probably being that 3rd or 4th option, you're seeing the 3rd or 4th best defender. So for him, it's just a learning curve at the end of the day, and he's a smart guy. He loves basketball. Really has a passion for it. So when you have guys that have that passion, they'll figure it out. Just everybody runs a different race, different time. So he'll figure it out.
You're also trying to build up to being a leader of the team. How does the game affect that? When you're trying to figure out your game and you're focused on that, is it harder to also be focused on leading a group of?
It's extremely tough, and I can't necessarily talk, because at the end of the day, he's 24 and this is his first year doing these things, and I was a little bit different coming here, and last year was kind of more of a leadership role for me, and I'm a little bit older, but it definitely is a challenge, and trying to figure out, okay, who am I, who do I want to be, now that I have all this free reign, right? But I still have to lead, and I still have to lead by example, and I still have to, hold myself accountable and watch my emotions and all that. That's a lot to go through as a 24-year-old. So, it's no pity, because everybody, you need to perform, right? Because that's what we get paid for, top dollar. But it's a progress, and, we stand behind them, so it's okay.
In terms of being higher on the scouting report, what helped you find a breakthrough for yourself?
For me, I'm just extremely focused on, my improvement and, extremely focused on what I can do well on the court. And I try to, play to my strengths as much as possible. I think coming here really allowed me to do that, and, really finding my downhill game and you playing to my size and really being confident within that. So it's really it for me. So
The first quarter.
Yeah, that was defensively. We're not playing for each other. We're not in the rotations. We're not respecting what we're supposed to do. So that was it.
And you got a pretty big test guarding 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗡𝗧 tonight. What was it like going up against him?
I always love this game. Playing against a great player like that is always, good. Learning a lot of things, and hope I do better playing the next game against her.
You were able to get a few stops against him. Does that build your confidence as a defensive player?
Yeah, of course. Every time I see a superstar on me, I'm trying to get a stop, and it helps me a lot.
Offensively, how do you feel like your game is coming along? It feels like every game we see you do something a little more off the dribble or creating for teammates, something like that. How are you feeling comfort-wise?
Yeah, I'm trying. I know the plays and everything. I'm trying to just figure out what I can do to help the team to get some buckets or help myself to get some baskets. And
Bilal, I know that you are a rookie right now, and you're probably the youngest person in the locker room. But what are some of the things that maybe you're saying to your teammates to bring that teamwork back together?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, saying the stuff that I see on the court. Whenever I see that somebody should have done the rotation and he did not did it, I'm saying to him we gotta be more focused. Just stay with what we're supposed to do, and that's it.
Question for you, Jordan. In these almost first month of the season, how would you just evaluate your fit in the offense, shot selection, et cetera, et cetera?
Shot selection's been good. I feel confident finding the shot selection. Still figuring out a lot of the rotations, chemistry, what plays you want to get into, how to get into our flow. So just a couple schematical things that we're just trying to figure out with the guys out on the court. In terms of shots are fine. They're just going to fall this long season.
Jordan, what would you say is the biggest adjustment of being the focal point of opponents' scouting reports?
It's not anything new. I was getting the second best, if not best, defender the last 2 years previously. Just figuring out where guys on my team want the ball, how they can be effective. Just trying to figure out how to play the right way, figure out how to consistently over and over and over, just make the right play. Trying to just build the foundation. That's pretty much it.
You obviously moved your locker next to Bilal's. Just what kind of feedback are you trying to give him, game in and game out?
Yeah, he's extremely talented. And he's a hard worker, and he's willing to learn, and he's willing to work. So just trying to give him any insight, any advice that I can, if he has any questions. Mentioning some things that he may not see, right? He's a rookie, it's really early. And it's a lot of stuff just kind of being thrown at him. He's coming from playing professionally, then going right to the pre-draft process, from pre-draft right to summer league, from summer league right to the season. So it's moving really fast. I'm just here to slow it down a little bit for him, if he ever needs help, if he has any questions. But he's doing a tremendous job. Locked in, he's focused. He's guarding guys like Luka night in and night out, right? So I kind of look at that as delayed gratification. He's getting the challenges now, but later on down the line, it'll be extremely beneficial.
With where you guys are right now, what's the toughest thing for this team going forward? In other words, what's the biggest challenge for you guys?
I think we are seeing it for the first time, right? I think if you go back to a couple games ago, the Brooklyn game, the Raptor game, it showed what type of team we can be, right, when we're playing the way we're supposed to play. But we got a lot of young guys. We got a lot of guys who are seeing late game actions for the first time, seeing new roles, seeing new minutes. So just seeing it, right? Just seeing it, learning from it, find a way to go back to the drawing board, seeing what we can fix, what we can learn. It's very early, very long season, 82-game season. We're 11 games in right now. So just continuing to learn, delayed gratification, right? We're not working just for the next game or the game after that. We're working for games in January, games in February, just down the course. And it's a rhythm game. The league is all about rhythm. The league is all about patterns. So once we start to figure those out, once we start to find those, everything else will take care of itself.